So, new year, new decade, new set of fixtures. Could be a new team soon, who knows. So, today is Wigan at home. I'm looking at 2-0 victory to Blues. Who knows though? I couldn't tell you who's going to score because I don't even know who's going to play. It's been that tipsy-turvies. Juki scored 2 goals in the last game against Leeds. I didn't upload for Leeds or the game before. I did put some footage on here, but I just hadn't been able to edit it or upload it. I've had a lot going on recently, so too much going on in the head at that point. So this one will be my first upload of this decade. Thank you to all of you who followed me throughout the last decade, supported me, subscribed, liked, commented down below, followed me on Twitter, contacted me on different forms of social media. Thank you to you all. I love you all for all the support you've given me over the years of doing this. Let's look for a big 2020, a big decade, and hopefully a growth in subscribers. See you guys when we're at the
Birmingham City, number 18,
hoping the ball into the stands.
This is bloody ridiculous.
Goal, sponsored by Snatchback for Birmingham City, number 19, Jack McCullough.
So, time to review the last game that you just watched the video of. The shocker. The 3-2 defeat. A loss against Wigan. This is like 2 days later, 3 days later even possibly. I can't even remember what day it is at the moment, but I've only just woken up. So, yeah. We lost 3-2. Another game where we've conceded 3 goals. We're conceding them at home now. So, we were shocking. It was pretty simple. We were dreadful. I just can't believe that Dongren, Edward Cheng and Pep Clotet are still in a job a couple of days after the game. It was that bad. We have conceded 5. We've conceded three times, I think. We conceded like 17 goals in like 5 matches at home. It's the worst home record in the league at the moment. Recently, I think. It's just absolutely abysmal. We've lost to a team that had not won away from home for, I think it was like 30 games, someone said to me. What used to be Fortress St Andrews is just flopping. So, onto the game. So I'm going to review each goal separately. Now, so the first goal, we'd lost the ball, and the ball was like passed around a little bit. Then Gardner and Bellingham ran into each other as Bellingham tried to make a tackle. The ball kind of went past them, Gardner tried to make a slide tackle, which didn't happen. The ball then was passed onto the back post where Pedersen was standing. Pedersen didn't bother making a tackle, and then a bloke who hadn't scored for God knows how long scored. Now, that was just a calamity of errors. It was Bellingham making an error running into another player, Gardner then making an error not being able to tackle a man, and then Pedersen making an error not running towards the ball, and also possibly even Truman not bothering to try and come off his line. So there was multiple errors in that goal. Then we did the only thing that Blues can. Kind of scored a good goal. After playing dreadful. So in our goal, we had madness up front. Juki basically gets taken out by their player. Another player gets taken out by their player. McEachran plays the ball, decent ball through to Pedersen, who plays a lovely ball through. Rabty takes on 3 players, gets it round all 3 of them, and slots it home beautifully into the bottom corner. No joke, this would be the goal people were talking about 3-4 weeks in advance if Messi or someone like that had done it. It's a lovely strike, it's a lovely move, a lovely all-round goal. Now. The arguable own goal. So, to make it 2-1, they just play a couple of little passes around, hoof the ball over the top, looks a little bit offside to me. Windass takes the ball over the goalkeeper's head, just basically hoofs the ball at the goal. I thought was going on target, but they've given it as an own goal since. It comes off Gardner and goes in. Bit more dodgy defending, but could be argued that there was a foul in there early before the pass was even made. Could be argued potential offside. I haven't seen it properly since. But yeah. So that made it 2-1. 3-1, more calamity of errors at the back. So they had a corner, I think. Can't remember who took it. They put it into the back post. Not a good corner at all. Not a good corner at all. I think, I'm not sure who, it might have been Gardner was marking a player who tried to head it back across the goal. Didn't header it very well. And I think Pedersen and Duke were on the back post and kind of jumped into each other, but also then decided they were both going to leave it. But it kind of came off Dukey's head and just smacked in off the face of one of their players to make it 3-1. At this point, we knew we weren't going to win. We knew we weren't going to draw. And actually, there was fans turning around, trying to get into the director's box, fans fighting with each other. It was not a nice atmosphere at 3-1 down to Wigan. It was not a nice atmosphere. Loads of fans were booing, fans were leaving, fans were just screaming. Fans were desperate to just hear a response from the team. There's obviously this dreadful defending was just not, it's finally hit us as fans, and we've gone, we're not happy with it. We want a change. We want something to be done, sorted out. A couple of substitutions later, the ball was played down the wing to, I think, Bellingham, who played an absolute stunner of a ball across the box. Well headed down by Duke, and then punched, shouldered, however you want to say it, in by Mags. So it was a decent goal. Lovely crossover by Bellingham. I thought he had a really good game. The rest of the team. Now, Truman I didn't think played brilliantly. And once again has conceded 3 goals. I think it's got to be the end of a spell for him playing. We've got a cup game coming up against Blackburn at home. A cup game where there's not going to be lots of fans, and it might be prime time to try someone like Moha Ramos in goal. See what he can do against an okay side in Blackburn, who are a championship side, who might play a couple of youngsters, but may also play a few decent players because it's the FA Cup. So it might be prime time to try someone like Mo Ramos in goal, see what he can do, first team. He doesn't have the full pressure of a full stadium on his back. He doesn't have the pressure of, look, if we don't win this match, we might be in relegation. He doesn't have those pressures on his back, so it might be the prime opportunity to play someone like him. Camp, obviously, has basically been kicked out of the squad recently. Truman's looking like he's going to be close to being kicked out of the squad, the amount of goals he's conceding recently. He did make a couple of good saves, so there's definitely no arguments there. He did make 2 or 3 very good saves that kept us in the game and made us only lose by 1 goal, but he also made so many errors again. So we've not had a goalkeeper that seems to not make a lot of errors for a long while. Yeah, so I think he could be changed. Back 4, it's just pain. Colin had a shocker of a game. Doesn't happen ridiculously often, but he had a bad game. Harley Dean was Harley Dean. He was not having a good game. He's not a captain in my eyes. He's a good footballer. And when he wasn't captain, he was a good player. But now he's got like some kind of authority, as he sees it at the club. He can do and say what he wants. But then at the same time, he's not being a captain. I think I counted double figures times that Dukey went over to him, said something, and then had to go and tell someone else to do something because he couldn't be bothered to. It wasn't great. It didn't show a captaincy in my head. I don't think he can last captain much longer, if he is anymore, since that game. He has deactivated his Twitter. He did come over to the fans and cup his ear at them again at full time. Not great from a captain. Giving stick to his own fans that's paid their money to watch that. Dreadful performance. Gardner made 2 errors in judgment for the goals, but I'm not going to blame him. For some banal reason, completely out of my thoughts, Gardner was playing centre-half. I still can't understand it even saying it. It just wasn't the right choice. I would bring back Bajrami myself, but they've also said that I think that it might be Clark Salter's nearly back and he's training and he might be back for the Blackburn game, if not the game after. And Roberts may be back to training next week, so hopefully we can get them both back in. Then you have Pedersen. I thought he had an okay game. He made some errors here and there, but he also made some good moves. Congrats, did okay. Jude on the wing is beginning to frustrate me. He looked so much better when he was pushed into the middle. McEachran played well. Put some beautiful balls through. But he and Sunyik, you can't play both of them against a team like Wigan. A team like Wigan want you to sit back. You're playing 2 defensively minded, pushed back right on the defenders, on the Reds, right here. Midfielders. That can't work against a team like Wigan. It's never going to work. You need to press them. You need to high press them. We started playing well as soon as Sunyik started pressing them. Then they brought off McEachran and Bellingham then started doing it, and then it was even better. So it was quite clear what needed to be done, but it just wasn't done until too late. So I've said about McEachran, I've said about Sunyik. I thought he played pretty bad game, to be honest. I thought he wasn't playing like his normal self. He wasn't his normal free self that he can do, run forward, he can come back, he can track back, but also knows he has to go forward, playing some of the balls, doing some of the lovely tackles. He made a lot of errors in his passing, but it's one of them games. It can happen to anyone. On the left-hand side, I honestly can't remember who played on the left. Bella. Of course, Bella. Bella played. I thought Bella on the other wing, He looked like one of the better players to me. He showed pace, he showed power, he got past their right back 10 times in the first half, putting the ball across the box multiple times. Dukey nearly got his toe on one. But yeah, a pity, I guess. It can be all that's said about the fact that he didn't get what he deserved, probably a couple of assists at that game. Yeah, he also made the goalkeeper pull a grave error, which nearly ended in a goal as well. So I thought he had a good game. Then you had Rabti, who I thought scored a great goal, but other than that, didn't do much else. Plain and simple, he didn't do much else other than score that goal. He wasn't great. He made some errors. He made some okay runs, but it wasn't good enough. Dukey, I thought, got injured in the first half. I still didn't think he was fit in the second half, but he put his all in. He's Dukey. There's nothing else I expect of him other than to put his all in. Montero came off the bench, didn't play well, didn't do enough. He kind of was like a wet blanket. He was pointless. He was like a chocolate teapot. He just didn't run. Then we also had Mags come on. He scored his goal. Other than that, he wasn't great. And we also had Jimenez come on, who didn't really impact the game that much. He didn't show much. He didn't do much. But yeah, I think that you've got to be really, 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 really near the end on Pep Clotet at the moment. He's got to be close to getting the sack, really. But then again, who'd want to come into a club potentially run by its owners, being run down by its owners, and the owners telling you what you can and can't do and say? It's not really great, but his post-match interviews are becoming worse and worse and more painful and more painful. Saying things such as Harding had an interesting game, when it was just that he had an absolute shocker of a game. He should have just been honest. We had a couple of chances. No, we had one chance and we missed it. Therefore, we lost the game. Needs to be said. Needs to be put out there. TTA need to sort themselves out, sell off the club, in my brain. Dongren needs to go. Cheng needs to go. Clotet needs to go. My opinion. You guys may have a completely different opinion, but I think the records are beginning to say it for me. I don't need to say it anymore for you guys. Just look at the records. 1 win in 12. Needs to be sorted. On to the FA Cup tie, where hopefully we can be a bit more than this. Anyway, keep right on. See ya at the next video. Thanks for liking, commenting and subscribing throughout 2019 into 2020 and the last decade, in fact. Like 3 years ago I started this channel and now it's blowing up a little bit now. Thank you to all of you guys. Thanks for the support from all clubs. I've had multiple different clubs say that they like these videos. Multiple different fans say they like these videos. They are back. They're back with a bang in 2020. And sorry I missed a couple at the end of 2019. See you guys in the next video.